Hey friend, Cameron Presley here from Small Batch Solutions. And today I thought I'd show you a couple of cool tricks you can do with union types to help remove some duplication in your code. So let's begin. Now, one of the cool things about union types is that especially in TypeScript, is that it allows you to say that a type can be one of a specific set of values. For example, we have type color, and it can only be one of these three possible strings. Can't be anything else, right? So much so that if I try to come over here and say non-color, say it's of type color, and I say it's black, it actually won't work. And if I hover over here, it tells you like, hey, black is not assignable to type color. So that's pretty cool. But let's say I wanted to write a function that gives me all the possible combinations of clothes. So let's say we had a function that looks something like this. We'll say get all possible combinations. And I want it to return back an array where the first element in each slot is of type color and the second item in each slot is of clothes. Well, so the problem is I can't easily say, so I'd really want to write a loop like this, right? So I'd want to say like C of color and then CL of clothes, right? This is pretty close to the type of code I want to write, and we'll say result, which is of color clothes. All right, we would really love to be able to write something like this. The problem though is that with union types, I can't just iterate like this. So it's kind of annoying. And I find myself that if I end up with union types that are just string values like this or number values, that I'd really want to be able to iterate over them. So I'm going to show you a different way we could solve this problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a constant called colors. And this is going to be an array where, as you might imagine, it has all the different strings. Now, I'm also going to say that this is a constant array. Like I can't modify it, I can't make changes to it. But what's cool is the minute I do this, I can now update my definition of color to say, well, you're not this hard-coded list anymore. You're actually going to be a type of colors number. If I spell correctly there. And if I hover over color, it's still red, blue, and green, but what the difference is, it's based off this array now. So let's say I want to add another color black, and I come here. Color gets updated automatically. That's pretty cool. So what makes this really powerful is that now I can come to my for loop, and instead of saying of color, I can say of colors. Now this code is going to work. And if I come down here, we're going to use the same trick for close. So we'll say close equals, and we're just going to grab all of that, plop it here, switch out the bars for commas. As const, and that's important because if you don't do this as const part, then this doesn't work. And that's because since the array can mutate, it doesn't know that it's going to be of constant there. Yeah, see, it just knows that it's a type of string because this could always mutate. But the minute we say of as const, it can only be one of those possible values. So we can come down into our for loop, and now we've got a close. And let's actually run this. So we're just going to do a console log of all possible combinations. And I'm using a tool called Quokka to run this immediately, but you could do this with TSX, TSNode, take your pick there. So we're going to go ahead and run this real quick, let it populate. And notice that we now have all the possible combinations: red shirts, red jeans, red shorts, red scarves, so on and so forth. So yeah, that was really what I was wanting to talk about today, that if you ever find yourself running with union types that are defined like this, but then you find yourself wanting to iterate over the possible options, absolutely use this trick. This will help you save a ton of time when it comes to duplication of your code. And all right, and that's it for this one. Catch you in the next video.